name's Katrina and I'm an accountant here at WealthMed. Thank you for joining me in this webinar today. So today we're going to be discussing end of financial year and what documents that you need for us to prepare your tax returns. So let's get into it. Okay, so today on the agenda we will be talking about three key items. So what information do you need to gather firstly? What tax deductions are you entitled to? And thirdly, we'll be quickly discussing our WealthMed tax checklist. Alright, so what information do you need to gather? So as we're all aware, 30 June is fast approaching, so we need to get onto organising all of our tax for the next financial year, nice and early. So a couple of examples of things we need to get started are your payment summaries. So payment summaries received from your employer. They will normally be received early July, mid-July. Any interest earned on your bank account, so you can get that on your online banking. Any share or dividend statements, details of any share purchases or disposals during the financial year, all of that information if you could send through to us, that'd be great. Any details on capital gains, so as I just mentioned, any details in relation to any capital gains or sales in relation to shares, Bitcoin, stuff like that. We'll also need details of your rental property income and deductions. So if you rent out your property and if you use a real estate agent, you'll be provided with an annual statement from them. If you could send that through to us, that'd be awesome. And any income from any other sources, if you could just send through the documentation in relation to those, that'd be great. All right, so a couple of other things we need. So any clothing purchases. So if, for example, if you purchased any scrubs or any protective clothing, masks, all of that, if you could send details of those through to us. Any union or membership fees, so for example your APRA fees, income protection, and technology purchases. So technology purchases includes phones, tablets, computers. So if you use any of those items for work-related purposes, you can claim a deduction for those in your tax return, but please bear in mind that if the cost of those assets is more than $300, we will need to claim a portion of that cost in your tax return rather than the whole thing. And we'll also need an estimated business use percentage that you think that you use that item for when we prepare your tax return, just so we can include that in as well, as you're only allowed to claim the business use percentage of that item. All right, that's a quick rundown on information you need to gather. Okay, so what tax deductions are you entitled to? So basically we've just compiled a brief overview of a couple of things that you, as medical professionals, that you can claim for your tax, and you might also already be familiar with a couple of these. And just bear in mind that this is a general summary only. So this attachment is linked to this webinar here today. So basically it goes through a couple of different sections. So we've got car expenses. So the key to bear in mind with car expenses is that travel from home to work is non-deductible and classified as private travel. However, travel between two separate workplaces, so say from one hospital to another hospital, is deductible travel. So if you could send us the details of all of the kilometres that you've travelled for business, and we'll put those into your return. Also clothing expenses, so as I mentioned before, if you purchase any work-related clothing such as scrubs, protective shoes, protective clothing, send all that through to us because we can claim that on your tax. Travel expenses. So travel expenses you can claim, including travel costs if you need to go travel to attend conferences or seminars. You can claim accommodation, travel costs including your fuel and all of that, the kilometres travelled and meals and all of that. So if you could compile all of that information and send that through to us, that'd be great. What else is on there? So we have self-education expenses. So if you are engaging in any additional courses that are in relation to your current employment, you can definitely claim those, so send all of that information through to us too. And there's also a little list there of other common deductible work-related expenses for you. And obviously, if you have any questions or anything, or if you're not sure if something's deductible, feel free to just send it through in your information anyway, and we'll sort through that for you, and we'll let you know whether that's deductible or not deductible. So, WealthMed's tax checklist. So for all of our clients, we will send out a tax checklist for you early July. So basically we will send this through to you electronically via WealthScope. So keep an eye out for an email that'll pop up from WealthScope in relation to this. So basically this is a way for you to pretty much go through the checklist, fill out all of your information. There's editable fields in there. You can plug in numbers and figures. We also have the ability to communicate with you via notes. So you can use the checklist to write in a couple of additional notes and comments in relation to your checklist, and you can also upload PDF documents there. So this checklist is great because we can literally have everything in one area for you for your tax. So we can have your checklist and your information, any additional PDF documents, and any other notes from you is all in one spot for us. So it's the go-to. So yes, obviously if you could gather all of your information necessary for us to prepare your tax returns in an efficient and timely manner, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, so that is the end of this webinar today. For anyone that isn't a current client of ours here, and if you'd like to discuss onboarding you as a client, please don't hesitate to contact us. So contact us at our email, which is tax@wealthmed.com.au, or you can contact us at 1300 887 137. Thank you so much for attending.